YouTube folks. Lady Vegas here. I just found out a few minutes ago some very, very sad news. Um, Michael Jackson is dead at age 50. He was found unconscious in his home. Um, wow. I mean, what can I say? Only a fan that grew up in the 80s listening to his music and would understand the feelings that I'm feeling right now. Um, I was a very big fan, and I loved his music, and I loved his dedication and unstoppable willingness to go all out and be the man who he was. And I'm not talking about the negative aspects of his actions. I'm talking about who he became from a young age when his father just continued to get him in the way of constantly having a positive outlook on life and always working at something, to achieve something. And you can't just sit around and expect achievements to come your way if you don't work for them. And he just had a dedication that was unstoppable, and he had thousands of fans around the world, not just the U.S., the world. And the music they have out today is far from anything that I grew up with. I grew up with 80s music. I grew up being a fan of him and his sister, Janet, and their music just meant something, It I mean, I'm an eclectic. I like all kinds of music. I have nothing against music today, but it just lacks that meaning that 80s music, most of the 80s music had. You know, if you're not a fan, if you didn't grow up with the 80s music when he did Billie Jean, Beat It, Thriller, and won all them Grammys, if you didn't grow up with that music from him, you wouldn't understand the feeling that me and thousands of other fans feel at this moment, finding out our pop star is dead. I guess you can say it's just like when Elvis had those fans and Elvis died, and all those true fans of Elvis that grew up with his music, it would be the same thing as that. I've listened to Elvis songs before, and I mean, I appreciate some of his music, but I wasn't really a fan. So I can never understand what a true Elvis fan feels when that happened to them when Elvis died. I would never understand their feelings, but it would be the same now as if you grew up in the 90s listening to 90s music, you never grew up listening to his music in the 80s. You wouldn't understand how me and thousands of other fans feel. So, you might have an appreciation for his music, just like I have an appreciation for some of the Elvis music, but I would never feel what his fans felt when he died. The same thing goes for Michael Jackson. If you weren't a fan, you wouldn't be able to feel the way me and thousands of other fans around the world, not just the US, the world, feel finding out today that Michael Jackson died at age 50 in his home. Um, I loved his music. I mean, I appreciated the man who he was and his dedication. And I mean, I wasn't like a hysterical fan, oh, I want to marry Michael Jackson and all that other stuff like a lot of young girls were when I was a teenager growing up. Um, I just, it's just hard to fathom, I guess. I mean, I just never thought I would hear myself say Michael Jackson is dead or even see it. Damn it. Phone. Mute that. Just my brother. Um, I just can't believe it. He's dead. Wow. This world will never be the same, that's for sure. He was a legend in his own time. When people get that big in the music industry, look at Madonna. Look what happened to her. Actually, Madonna used the press and to her advantage. The one I want to talk about, Britney Spears. Look what happened to her. She couldn't handle the pressure. But compare her to other stars that could handle the pressure, such as Madonna, Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson, and a bunch of other singers from the 80s. You know, some of them could handle it, most of them couldn't. Michael Jackson was one of the people that was able to handle the pressure, and he continued on with his music. He didn't just make a few songs and then die out. Oh, God. I'll call you back later, Greg. Alright, I'm going to leave this running just for a few more seconds because most of you that watch my videos know that YouTube has a tendency of cutting me off, and I want everything to be heard. So I'm going to leave this running just for like a minute or so. So, peace, love, and soul from Vegas.